Well, it wasn't as bad as it's been in the past in like smaller shows and stuff like that. It basically about 3 weeks before my scheduled fight with Mustafa Al Turk, I got a phone call informing me that I may or may not be on the card, but to stay ready. And Crow Cop ended up nabbing that spot from me. But immediately Joe Silva came back with the offer to fight on this card, and everything worked out well, as you can see. So can't complain.
So. First of all, tell us how you sized up Tim Hague coming in. I mean, what did you think of him as a fighter? He's obviously a legit heavyweight at 6'5" and 260.
Man, the biggest thing I thought about him was he was going to be hard to finish. Never been finished. Had a great chin. From every footage I saw, he's taken some serious shots that I watched on all his films. So that was the biggest thing, and I just other than that, I was happy with the matchup.
All right. You didn't hesitate going across the cage and throwing leather right away.
No, I remember asking myself while I was in the cage, I was like, well, what do we want to do here? I was like, well, let's just walk across and feel it. And, I felt it clearly.
So did you plant him with a jab?
That's what it looked like from the replays that I saw, yeah.
Was it a jab or was it more of a hook?
It was more of like a super power jab. I wouldn't call it a hook because that wasn't something I was looking to turn on. It was something I was looking to come through with, keep my base, but yeah.
Now, are you the only guy who throws a super power jab? Or
no, I know a couple other people like Micah Miller.
Okay. He's a little smaller,
that's his move.
Not quite as powerful.
No, but he's got some pop on. That's his move. I got to give him credit for that one. He helped me to make it.
So you floor him literally like 2 seconds into the fight.
Yeah.
I mean, at that point, you go in for the kill. When did you know he was just screwed?
I honestly thought he fell because he was off hook with that hook that I saw coming when I threw the jab. He faked it right through that big hook. So I kind of thought he fell because the way he fell off to the side. But I saw his eyes open back up, and he made a remark, so to speak, and I realized that he didn't know what was happening.
What was the remark? Could you tell?
Oh,
yeah, is that right?
Literally, he goes, oh, and I was like, oh, he's hurt. So I plan on being aggressive coming down, but I was initially when I came down, I was like, let's get 2 big shots and settle. But when I saw him do that, I wasn't looking to settle. I was looking to finish immediately.
So I think I counted like 6 shots in basically like 5 seconds. Do you know when you have him out there? I think it was a left that you finally finished
the last left I felt, and I saw him coming into it. So I really went for it, and I felt it, and I knew. I don't even think I looked. I may have looked to throw the right again because I'm greedy and a dirtbag, but I was aware that he went out. I could feel it.
So you weren't going to throw any more punches?
I was still going to throw that right because it was loaded. Probably. I'm a dirtbag. It's a highlight
no,
reel.
You're not.
Tim's a great guy, but yeah.
Well, we saw Nate Marquardt have to deal with the same situation, and he loaded up a right when Maya was on the ground. I don't know if you saw that fight, but he stopped himself.
Yeah, which was nice on his part.
All right, TODD Duffee's with us. It's ESPN Radio 1100 out here in Portland. We got to find out who you are and where you're from, because I tell you what, there's not a whole lot of background up on the web. So, first of all, would you play football somewhere? Have you been a mixed martial artist since a kid?
Man, I've been an athlete since a kid more than anything. Grew up playing every sport I possibly could. I loved competition. That's the one thing I really kind of thrived on was just competing. I really say that's what kept me in a normal kind of lifestyle growing up and even now.
So where are you from originally?
Originally, I grew up my first 18 years in Southern Illinois. A small little town in El Dorado, Raleigh, and Marion. Those 3 areas. I spent most of my time in Raleigh.
What was your big sport in high school?
My favorite sport, probably not. My favorite was basketball. That's where I concentrated most of my time. I was on a basketball court 6 hours a day, sometimes in the summer if I could be. I chased it down. I had hoop dreams, so to speak.
How much did you weigh back then playing basketball, though?
I was big.
Really?
I went into high school about 205. My sophomore year, I got up as big as 230. I kind of maintained through 30. By the end of my junior year, I was like 250-ish. And senior year, I got up to 265. And
what happened? No one came along for basketball or smaller schools?
No, I had an injury or two, and I realized, football was my definite out. So I finished up my senior year of football and left high school early, and went on to I was supposed to play at SIU. Things didn't work out there, so I ended up.
What were you, offensive line, defensive line?
I was a linebacker.
Big linebacker?
Yeah. They were threatening to move me to D-line, as I remember, because I got those all-you-can-eat meals 3 times a day, and I got like probably 270.
So then what happened at SIU?
I had an injury, wasn't able to, they couldn't even get me on the roster. They were hurting for roster room as it was. So they were trying to hopefully that'd stick around because I grew up 15 minutes away from there. But it wasn't worth it for me to pay a sport that I felt like I could play at any level at that time. So
what'd you do? We're talking to TODD Duffee, who was a big winner tonight. Sets a new record, UFC record, 7-second knockout of Tim Hague. So did you finish school, or did you just say, did you bail on it at some point and then start training for fighting?
No, well, I would have loved to have done that way sooner. I got a mom that I love too much to do that. She's made too many sacrifices to get me there. But no, my mom got a job transfer down to Georgia, which gave me in-state tuition. So I went down there, went to school, ended up at UGA. Once I signed the UFC contract, I actually bailed school earlier on, but I couldn't financially support myself. I had a job and I was training full-time, but I really couldn't do it. And I had like 9 fights fall out, so I went back to school just really to take out student loans, to be honest. And then once I signed the UFC contract, I left school this last January.
Wait, so you didn't mention how you went from college to become a fighter?
Well, when I started fighting, I was training the whole time. Once I lost that scholarship, I started boxing, and about a month later, I watched a few UFCs. The next thing I know, I'm searching down a mixed martial arts gym, and I was training twice a day every day. So
wow. So do you have jiu-jitsu in the game yet? I mean, obviously you're American
for sure.
top team.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
you got to be picking it up quick.
No, yeah, definitely. I train all aspects of the game. I think the days of guys coming up with a big specialty background are about over. We're going to see that probably another 3 or 4 more years of that, and then no, you won't see any more guys doing that, I don't think.
So what level would you feel comfortable stepping in with at this point? I mean, it's only your first UFC fight, but I mean, how high could they throw you up there? What would you say is too high level of fight in terms of opponents?
Without coming off arrogant, I don't think there is one. I think I can compete at any level right now. I'm sure, I know that for a fact I can compete at anybody level in the gym. There's an experience factor when, the fighting aspect that may or may not affect me. But right now I feel as if I'm able to compete with anybody.
Could you fight someone at the level of Gonzaga? I mean, that's pretty high up there.
Yes.
Okay.
Will I say I'm going to go out there and beat those guys?
Yeah.
I don't know, but I know I can make it a damn good fight.
All right. TODD Duffee's with us. Well, let's close on this. What do you think of the main event? I mean, those are two heavyweight legends.
It was wonderful, dude. I had to be fight of the night, wasn't it?
I don't know yet. They haven't.
Should have been for sure. It's kind of how I expected it to play out. I didn't know who was going to be the better of the two, though. I looked at them as even. Great fight, though. Great for heavyweights.
Well, it's a division that needs stars and it needs prospects. That's why they're doing this reality show. Did anyone ever try to push you toward a reality show?
No, I actually, when I found out about the Germany thing, I tried to push myself into the reality show with Joe, but I guess they had better and bigger plans for me. So
you made out okay.
Yeah,
how does it feel to be the? You just beat a record set by Don Fry back at UFC 8, and also a record set by James Irvin with the 8-second knockout. You did it in 7. And by the way, you said in the ring, you're like, I think it was 6.
No, I thought the old record was 6. Actually,
Okay.
I didn't think it was 6. That sounded bad. Ooh.
Well, I looked up at the screen and it said 454, so I thought it was 6.
Oh, cool. No, how do I feel about it? It's a statistic, dude. It doesn't really mean much. I think the real history tonight was Nogueira and Couture.
All right, good deal. Humble guy. There's TODD Duffee. Hopefully, we'll be talking to you a bunch of times down the road. And congrats.
All right, thank you very much.